Number 2, the only thing hard and fast regarding the procedure is the preamble, which emphatically states, no material should be in question shall be removed from circulation until a final decision has been made, which we don't know will ever be made because they don't have a time limit. Given the above 2 facts, and these are facts we had straight out of your board, your issue. Given the above 2 facts, it is obvious that the procedure is either by default or design deficient because it actually protects the book, not the children. As the children remain exposed to the objectionable material indefinitely with no other recourse available. The responsible process should err on the side of caution with the best interest of the child being paramount, not the books. Solutions. Number 1, restrict all access to all books containing mature content and require that parents must opt in if they wish to allow their children to be exposed to this type of material. Pornographic books obviously should not be allowed. 2, the school board should implement a policy of grading books from the library with mature content, and given restricted access, criteria for grading the books could be found on the cbswatch.com website. I won't go into all those now. Lastly, the school board should develop a reconsideration process to follow consisting of a specified and reasonably short period of time. Completion and ensure the library staff adheres to the aforementioned policies and procedures. Benefits. No books have to be banned, thus eliminating one of the biggest complaints on the left of banning books. We're banning books. No, we're not banning books. Number 2, removes unnecessary and overwhelming burden on parents of having to continuously monitor the books in the library. Number 3, the solution does not violate the Michigan Freedom to Read Statement nor the First Amendment, reference 7D of the reconsideration process that we have written. Most importantly, the solution above leaves the decision of what is appropriate for their children up to the parents of those children. This has always been traditionally the norm. Parents have a right to control what their children are exposed to in the public schools. Recommendations for the Reconsideration Committee, my own. Rename the Reconsideration Committee to a Book Review Committee. The Book Review Committee shall consist of adults 21 age and older, in my opinion, parents, librarians, and teachers. If the committee's decision is not unanimous, the books shall remain in the restricted area so that we don't get overloaded with 1 or 2 people always saying yes, bring it in, you know, end up all these books back in the library. Should be unanimous. 3, restricted area for mature content books should also be segregated according to age-appropriate material. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker is Amelia.
How many people ever noticed the picture that used to hang on the back wall? The board removed it out when I took a photo of it. The first part states, quote, religion, morality, and knowledge being necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged, unquote. I'd like this board's lawyer to tell everyone here where that quote is from. Well, we're all waiting to hear from you, Mr. Cava. What kind of lawyer doesn't know this? The quote is from the Michigan Constitution, Article 8, Section 1, where it lays out education in our state. Despite this constitutional provision, religion, morality, and knowledge were all removed from public schools. Religion isn't taught, and the Bible was excluded years ago. Morality is completely ignored, especially when elected officials, school staff, and you board members support gender confusion taught to young kids. Sexually graphic books in your school libraries, and display of pride flags that solely represent sexual orientations. Regarding the knowledge portion of the quote, standards were lowered and destructive ideologies pushed, and this board has ignored the abysmal proficiency scores, which continue to drop. This signifies knowledge is not a priority in this district. The second part in this picture states, quote, it is the natural fundamental right of parents and legal guardians to determine and direct the care, teaching, and want to deprive parents from involvement in their kids' education. They've even labeled parents as domestic terrorists for asking questions or expressing concerns. I have one final question. Can anyone on this board explain why you're ignoring the education parts of the Michigan Constitution and state laws?
You can stop there. Thank you. You're all set? Please sit down.
She's got 30 seconds. Be quiet.
Is this your first one?
I'm not surprised you couldn't answer, considering knowledge was removed from this district. A quote by Maximilian Robespierre states, "The secret of freedom lies in educating people, whereas the secret of tyranny is in keeping them ignorant." Unquote. Time for this board to focus on fundamental education rather than destructive ideologies. Thank you.
Your speaker is Leanne.
The final question.
Leanne's the next speaker.
Why did this board hide the extensive destruction wrought upon Dakota High School? Back on May 22nd, students tore apart bathrooms, destroyed the atrium and study area, and vandalized areas outside the school. The board wanted to sweep this under the rug and not press any charges against the students because Mr. Roberts wants people to believe Chippewa Valley schools are among the top in Michigan. The punishment Roberts chose was denying those kids going to prom, but he refunded their ticket money. No suspensions, no reparations, no accountability. Everything was hush-hush, and this district's taxpayers would unknowingly foot the repair bills. That is, until video of the crime circulated online. The board also hid the massive brawl that happened a few months ago outside that same school. The cases of discipline issues are getting more violent. It's just a matter of time before a school shooting occurs in this district if this board and superintendent don't get their acts together and take some firm stance against all of this. Unfortunately, this board is more concerned with ensuring kids are exposed to sexually graphic books and insisting LGBT students are marginalized. Are they really marginalized when this school district and our country regularly celebrates their entire community? June is Pride Month, October is LGBT History Month, November is Trans Awareness Month, March 31st is Transgender Day of Visibility, and the list goes on. In fact, there are 62 separate days and an additional 3 months in 1 year dedicated to LGBT recognition days. That's literally over 5 months out of a year celebrating LGBT people. Veterans only get 1 day, and Jesus gets 2 days, Easter and Christmas. Are LGBT people marginalized when they're afforded more rights and special protections like getting their gender surgeries paid for by taxpayers, biological men allowed in women's sports and bathrooms, and forcing everyone to use certain pronouns and chosen genders under penalty of law?
Oh, they don't like that.
Please, I let it go on for a while now.
Don't you celebrate Pride Month here?
You're going a little too far.
Do you
Okay.
allow pride
Can you
flags?
change the subject? I've let you talk on the subject long enough.
So here we are censoring again.
Second notice. Please change the
Pride
subject.
flags are everywhere, from classrooms to the White House. Pride rainbows are painted on streets. Defacing one is labeled a hate crime. However, leftists and LGBT people are allowed to burn the American flag, topple and deface statues they deem racist, hold college campuses hostage to their demands, and perpetrate other acts of violence
Keep going.
with zero
That's it, sit
accountability.
down.
Nope.
Thomas
Thank you,
Sowell,
sit down.
a black economist and philosopher, stated, quote, "When people
Third
get
notice.
used to
Would you please
preferential
leave the
treatment,
meeting?
equal treatment feels like discrimination," unquote.
Please leave the meeting.
You interrupted me,
She ain't going
tried
nowhere.
to silence
Take
me.
this order out of the meeting.
Now you want to frog march me out because you don't like what I said.
What exactly?
No, you just shouldn't have to leave.
Yeah, what was my crime?
What exactly did you had 3 warnings. Okay.
For what?
Would you please just talk about Pride?
Go to the next speaker.
If you don't celebrate Pride Month,
Oh, really? You're gonna arrest her?
celebrate Pride Month, then
Love to
I'm
see this
really
happen.
talking about
Please leave the meeting.
We're just asking you to leave. Can you please leave, ma'am? Thank you.
Excuse me, the rest of you, please. Out of order.
You're good.
Well, where's your mom and her child out? We're speaking the truth. Oh, wait, wait.
Okay, next speaker is Frederick Easter.
She's not gonna go in there. We're good. You guys are good. Trust me. I promise. Thank you. You're welcome.
You know, and
Listen,
they wanted a way to try
I
to
want
get
to
us
say
out.
it was 3. He gave you 3 warnings. But here's what he doesn't understand. They don't want. He goes, I don't want to arrest her. I just want to. So when the cop comes and tells you, man, please leave, just leave. Just don't say no. You can come to the next meeting. They can't kick you out. You know that, right?
Right.
So we're good.
I didn't say I wasn't leaving.
No.
They
if
don't
the
have
cop,
me on record saying I'm not leaving.
Listen, if
And I
asked,
gathered my
you
stuff up
asked
to
me,
leave.
and I didn't. You know what? If that was me, I go, well, I'm not leaving. They could have handcuffed me, and I'm fucking. You see, when I speak, they don't say a word, nothing. He sat there and goes, they're telling me that I come from somewhere far. Who gives a fuck? Come on, let's leave. Listen, these guys are so far. Let's go. Come on.
There's no point in staying there.
Yeah,
guys.
come on.
You can go back in there and.
Are you leaving or are you
Did you,
just?
did you get the whole thing?
I got the whole thing.
Okay.
I got the whole thing
Okay, well, we'll
on
see
2
what-
different cameras, so it's live right now. I'm still live.
Go back in and see what else happens.
Oh, you got a bunch of fans in here looking. Look at my feed. It says exploding.
Are they saying
You got,
stuff
you got
about
John
me?
Park.
I can't read
Oh
it.
yeah, they got a bunch of people talking about it now.
Hey, you got me too?
Yeah,
Send it to me.
Is that Facebook?
it's a live stream.
Live?
And I got my body cam.
Share it with me.
Huh?
Share the live
All right.
stream.
Okay.
I'll look forward to seeing that. Are you gonna put it on YouTube or what?
Facebook,
Oh, okay.
and now I'll download it and put it on YouTube.
Okay. All right.
Is the sound leave? Are you leaving too?
Yeah. I'm getting out of here. If they say something to me, I'm gonna run.
Okay. All right. I'll see you Sunday. This is disgusting. This is our taxpayers at work. They're gonna kick out a mom and a daughter for speaking their minds. Oh my God! You gotta be fucking kidding me. Thank you, John, for doing that. Just trying to read some comments here. It's disgusting.
I can only guess. What I can assure you is pornography. If it's teaching how good it feels in sex education, it's pornography. What are you doing? What is your moral standard in the education of our children of something so precious to family?